Hi you guys, Shane here, and I am so excited to bring foam rolling to you today. This is probably one of my favorite things to do. So what I'm going to show you are 6 basic movements that you can use to really get your body ready to work out as well as recover from a workout. I will do foam rolling before I work out just to kind of see where my body is. How am I really feeling? There are times where you feel pretty great, you get on the roller and you're like, oh my goodness, I am really tight in the middle of my left quad. I didn't know that. So it's a great way to warm your body up before you work out as well as recover from a workout. So let's just get going, okay? We're gonna start with your quads. Now your quads, the front of the legs here. 4 muscles make up your quad complex, you guys. We have 3 vastus muscles, your lateralis, intermedius, medialis, and your rectus femoris. That's these guys here. So I start usually with my quads. So come on down, place the roller in the belly of your quad and come on down to your elbows, you guys. You wanna keep that strain off the back, so don't come up to the hands here because you really extend that back and that can get uncomfortable. So come on down and start with 2 legs. And remember, when you're foam rolling, you guys, you're foam rolling soft tissue, muscle, fat, that sort of stuff. You don't want to roll bone or your joints, right? So keep it here. So I will just gently kind of roll using my toes here to kind of help guide and walking my elbows forward and back to just kind of feel what my quads are feeling like today. Now, sometimes it can be uncomfortable, and I urge you, if you feel a hot spot or an adhesion, don't just jam over that spot. That is your body saying, hey, something is out of whack, is imbalanced. Continue to roll around it. It's like you wouldn't have an injury and then start to poke at that injury. Same thing. If you find a part that's really uncomfortable, stay there for a second, take a deep breath in, and then move on away from it and roll up and over. And the hope is that over time, that imbalance will even out and you won't feel that discomfort. If it doesn't feel too uncomfortable, what you can do is kind of focus on one leg. I will bring one leg onto the roller here, and you do slightly roll out, so you will get a little bit more of the lateral side of your quadriceps, and I'll roll here as well. Now this might be a big game changer, but what's also great about doing a single leg is that you can start to really feel imbalances between one leg versus the other. It is very common to feel like one leg is much more tender than the other. Very normal. I'm not saying be okay with that, but that's really good information that you can start to make some changes in the way you move through your workouts or your sport, especially if you're like a runner or a cycler. So again, start with double leg for the quads, and then if you want to focus a little bit more on one leg, you can rest one leg up on the roller and go up and down. Now there's no real right or wrong number, like do you do 5 passes, 8 passes? Think maybe 8 to 10, just kind of see how you're feeling. Make sure you try to breathe and relax your muscle into the roller. There's a tendency to tighten it, especially if it's uncomfortable. Try to just let it relax and don't forget to breathe. So these are the quads. You can do single or double leg. Now, we're gonna go a little bit more into the TFL, your tensor fascia latae. So you've heard probably people talk about rolling the iliotibial band, your IT band. We're not gonna do that. What research has shown us is that that is a very thick band and there's not a lot of extensibility. It's not gonna release. So better off roll those muscles at the attachment at the hip and try and release that tension there. So your TFL, your tensor fascia latae, is up top at the hip, and what I will do is take my top leg, kind of use that as my guide and support, and I will stay slightly towards the front of my quad and just kind of go into the hip a little bit right there. And that can be, enlightening, uncomfortable, whatever, and just kind of stay there for a little bit. Then you can kind of roll back, you guys, flip that top leg back, and again, readjust a little bit. Now you're on the back side a little bit more into that hip or glute medius. and you can kind of stay there for a while. Remember, support yourself with that elbow, you guys, and this leg back here is your guide. The leg that is in contact with the roller, keep it as relaxed as possible. So from the quads and the TFL, we'll work to those glutes. Now, you can just sit up on it, bring those arms back behind you. The leg you want to roll, cross that onto the top, and just roll that glute right there. The upper side right here, you guys, is more of your glute medius, and then the back here, that's your gluteus maximus. We've heard a lot about that. And remember, if you're doing one side, you then have to roll the other side again, the leg that is crossed. You're slightly rolling out, you've externally rotated from that hip, and then just going up and down that muscle. And see how that feels, right? And again, you're warming up those muscles, you're massaging them. It's a great way, you guys, to get ready and recover from a workout. So there's the glutes, right? Your gluteus medius and into that maximus a little bit right there. Let's now move to the calves, your gastrocnemius and the soleus muscle. Again, start with the double. Right here, place that roller right under the belly of that calf. The challenging part here is that you do use those arms to kind of lift you up. So if that's uncomfortable, you guys, you can definitely keep those hips grounded and kind of just scoot a little bit, and that will take some of that tension off of your wrists. But you're here just, again, rolling, remember, soft tissue, not bones or joints, and going up and down. If that's comfortable, take one leg, cross it on, so you're adding a little more pressure into that roller. Same thing, up and down. Don't forget the outside and the inside, you guys. Roll to the lateral part of that calf and go up and down here. That can be a very different experience than the mid part. Similarly, roll on the inside, go on the medial side. That can be a very different experience as well. I've also had clients just hold that pressure and do some ankle rotations, reversing sides, and then of course switching legs. So you can do those calves as well, you guys, a great way to release tension in the lower part of that leg. Let's go to the upper back. Now notice I said upper back. You don't want to roll your low back. We have floating ribs down there that do not attach at the front at our sternum, so you don't want to compress those. But it's a great way to kind of release some tension in the upper back. If you have longer hair, I advise you now, scoop it up, hold it. I've had my hair in ponytails stuck more times than I can count. You also want to support your head and neck. So you're here, lift those hips up and just rolling upper back, kind of between those shoulder blades, and then back down about halfway down that back, no lower than that. And use those legs to kind of walk you right here up and back. Again, you don't want to roll your neck between your scapula, between those shoulder blades. I've also had clients, as they roll between those shoulder blades, pull those elbows together, slightly pulling the scapula apart, and that can really be a different experience and can be comfortable as well. You can feel a really good stretch in there. Upper back. The last thing I want to show you guys, it's about releasing the front of the body. It's what I call snow angels. You're going to have a seat on the end of the roller. Make sure you scoot to the very, very end. Be careful as you roll back so that back is right on the roller, right there. And just make sure your head is on. And just relax, legs wide, so you're supporting yourself with balance, a nice foundation. And then palms are up. And just like you would when you were 6 or 25, 35, 45, whatever, and you're in the snow, and you're just drawing snow angels up and down, gently tracing those hands on the floor. What you feel is that when you get up here, it might get a little sticky, and you might feel this beautiful stretch through your chest, through your pectoralis major. That is great stuff. And just relax into it, you guys, just tracing that big arm movement from down to your hips to above your head. As you pull those arms overhead, you guys, don't let your trapezius take over. Keep those shoulders as relaxed as you can as you go up and down. So those are 6 very basic movements, really getting the front and the back of the body just warmed up and ready for a workout or recovery. Have fun, you guys. Make foam rolling your best friend. It really will help you feel amazing.